What's up, y'all? It's Grind Time Media Podcast. It's Sunday, 10/13/2019, and today we're going to talk about religion. Yes, I said religion. We're going to talk about Facebook likes, social media, and all kind of things. So I'm going in today, so this is what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to start it off like this. You know, sometimes when it comes to like religion, you know, we're all religious people. We all believe in something. We all can agree on that there's something in the world. There's a reason that we're here. That we didn't create ourselves. That there's a higher power, no matter what you believe in. You know. But a lot of times, people tend to get things twisted. You know, when it comes to religion. You know, sometimes it can be used against you instead of being used to help you. You know, sometimes when you get into a disagreement with someone, they'll pray. They'll tend to. I've been called this. I've been called that. I've been called everything that you can imagine. You know what I mean? And sometimes people don't try to include you in their. In other words, they try to lift themselves up by putting you down. You know, instead of trying to bring you in and say, I feel like this and I'm doing this, and pull you in with them so you can grow together in your religion, they have to pit it against you, and they have to use those tools against you. But here's what it is. These people don't know that you have your own personal relationship with God, that you're praying in your life and asking God to come into your life, and you've accepted the Lord as your personal Lord and Savior, and you've done all these things, and you're asking for everything, and you're praying, and you're asking God to show you the way, and you're doing all this stuff, and you have your own personal relationship. You're even praying for them. You're not even using it to bash them. You're praying for them as well. You're praying for people who don't like you. You're wishing the best for everyone else. They don't realize that. So when they do that, and watch this, every time someone does that to me, then I get a blessing. So it doesn't work. Because if you have your own personal relationship with God, while they're bashing you in a situation, or calling you names, or saying whatever it is they're saying to you, trying to belittle you and trying to act like they're holier than thou, by you having your own personal relationship with God, you know, you get a blessing. Something happens in your life, you know, that shows you that you're on the right track. You know what I mean? So those things don't work. It cancels each other out. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, I've gotten to the point now, you know, I'm 44 years old. So I really don't care what people think. And I just don't care about all that kind of stuff anymore. You know, I spent, 20 years trying to, please people, or trying to be what people wanted me to be, or what they thought of me. And guess what? It didn't work. You know, they still think that you're a piece of crap. They still think that negatively of you. Only the real ones who understand where you're coming from, they understand you. But everyone else, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And as far as, Facebook likes and all this stuff and all that stuff, you know, a lot of times people say, I get more people, I get more likes, I get more people that, dig what I'm doing and all this kind of stuff. And that's cool too. But guess what? Half the people out here really who see what you're posting, those are the same people who thought that you'd be dead, or you'd be killed, or you'd be shot, or you'd be in prison, or you'd be messed up, or you'd be homeless, or you'd be divorced, or you'd be shot, or all kind of stuff. They didn't expect nothing from you anyway. You know what I mean? So they're not going to hit like. They're not going to hit like. They want you to post that you're messed up. The only way they're going to share what you're doing, the only way that they're really going to share what you're doing, is if you get down sick, or you get down bad, or something wrong with you, or out on the street, or you're all messed up, or you're not eating, or you're, doing this or doing that, or, or whatever. You're laid up somewhere, stretched out, or, something wrong happened to you, or whatever. Or you shot somebody, or you got mad, and you did this or you did that. That's the only thing they're going to share. I don't expect those people to say nothing about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? What I do is, if I'm going to post something, I'm going to create my own Facebook business page if I really want to reach people, my audience, and like I'm already doing, and I'm gonna put my ad there and reach out to people who don't even know me and they dig what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I get results from those people. That's the people that's spending money with me and doing things. You know what I mean? It's not the people that you know. Don't get down because you post something and then the people you know don't want to support what you're doing. They see what you're doing. It comes up on their feed, just like when you text somebody. They see what you're doing. You know what I mean? But they hate you. You understand what I'm saying? They hate you. They're not going to share or like anything positive because it's you posting it. When people try too hard to basically not acknowledge anything that you do, those are people who just, you got to look past those people. You know what I mean? There's a reason why they disagree with every single thing that single thing, like you haven't been around, the block and seen all kinds of stuff. There's a reason why they always have something they disagree about. You know what I mean? It's the easiest thing in the world to see who your friends are and who your enemies are, who don't like you. Just sit by doing nothing, by just sitting back and watching, by sitting back and seeing their response. Because when people hit me up, I respond to them immediately. If I want to be bothered with them, I respond to them immediately. I'll even respond to people I don't necessarily even really entertain as much. If they come to me and say, yo, Tony, blah, 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 whatever, what's going on, I'm going to say something. Because I might not even dislike that person. Newsflash, I might not even dislike that person. I'm going to respond to you anyway if you say something to me. If I speak to you and you don't say nothing to me, guess what? I'm not going to speak to you at all. I'm just going to go do what I'm doing. I'm not even going to entertain or speak or, do anything, because you revealed to me that you're not interested in having any kind of conversation or dealings with me. At least that's the way I take it. So why would I keep reaching out to a person who's not speaking or saying anything to me? It's a waste of my time. I don't need to talk to you that much. I don't need to socialize with you that much. But trust me, these type of things reveal all that you need to know about a person. So it goes back to what we say about religion. When you pray every day and you get breakthroughs in your life and you're praying for people, if you're truly genuinely for a person, and you're truly misunderstood by people, God sees that, and you're still going to get your breakthrough. They don't understand that you're still getting blessings, even though they're saying all this stuff and all this stuff's going on, and they're trying to use religion and stuff against you and this, that, and the other. They're trying to say, I'm gonna pray for you and I'm gonna do this and you're that and you're this and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like they get in your face and talk about how the enemy's using you and all this stuff. No, the enemy's using you against me. You know what I mean? It's the other way around. The enemy's not using me at all. Because I have an understanding of everything of what I'm doing, and I have an understanding of what's going on. So those type of things don't work. They just don't work. And hopefully that can inspire someone out there. Because it's 2019. We're not playing games. You know what I mean? I don't play games. At all. And I take this stuff very seriously. And I am a spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe that God died on the cross for my sins. I believe in that. And no matter what you're into, we do believe in a higher power. And so don't let anyone try to negatize you or try to tell you who you are, because you have to become in tune, with yourself. I started reading a lot of books. The Obstacle is the Way, and different things like that. And I got other books that I read that I pay attention to, and it talks about obstacles and how that's the way, basically. And you read this stuff. You go for your walk, and you kind of meditate and get in tune with yourself. And then once you're in tune with yourself, really there's nothing no one can say to you about because you have certain you know who you are, and you're not guided by all that all that stuff, and all the the fog and everything you can kind of see, you see, and you don't believe in wasting your energy and your time, on people. It's really not worth it. It's really not worth it. Don't spend your time like I did, for years and years and years trying to come to an understanding with people and trying to, understand people, because it's really not going to work. And then on another note, sometimes you'll have people call you up and they want to talk about negative stuff and stuff that you don't want to even talk about, and then get mad at you because you don't want to hear it. Or they get mad. Here's what they'll do: they'll call you up, and they always want to keep going down that road. You're just sitting back, you listening to them, and they want to take you down that road. They want to talk about everything that's going on and keep you up to date with stuff that you don't even want to hear about, that you don't even have nothing to do with, you're not interested in. And then if you stop them and say, hold on a second, I don't really want to talk about that, they get mad with you. They want to push their agenda on you. So eventually you got to stop talking to those people as well. All they have to do is talk about something else. Talk about something more positive. Talk about something that you're into. Talk about whatever. But there's certain things that you just don't want to hear about. You're not interested. Why do you want to keep me informed of all these different subjects and all these different people who don't give 2 cents about me or anything about me? I don't hear from these people. They don't call me to see what I'm doing. Why do I want to hear about what they're doing? I'm just not interested. Whatever we had in the past or whatever was going on, that's cool then, but I didn't change on them. They changed on me. They changed on me. So why do I want to hear about that every single day? I don't want to hear about that. I mean, if that's still if that's your circle, and that's what you you need to call someone who wants to talk about that with you, because that doesn't do me any good. It's not interesting to me. It's just not interesting to me. So I try to live stress free. I don't let negativity and no one can rent a space in my head anymore. I'm not interested in all that stuff, and I really don't care what people think. And I don't really care if you like my stuff. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't, because it's for the real. It's for people who've been through something. It's not for just people who just don't understand it, because your social life might be different than mine. I don't bother anybody. I kind of stay to myself, so there's no one to, there's no disagreement. There's no, if I'm going to be around people, I'll be around like-minded people, people who are interested in the same thing that I'm interested in, It just keeps things from being conflict and being, it just makes your life a lot less stressful, So that's the type of people I'm around. So I read my own books. I read a lot of Ryan Holiday books. Stillness is the Way, and I just sit back and watch and analyze things, and see what things are. I don't always have to clash and always have to, I stand up for me. Everyone else is grown. Everyone else, they do what they do. Some people want you to be overly concerned about what they do. They just won't get it through their head that I could care less. Okay? I could care less. I've given and given and given and tried and tried and tried to try to help people and try to give advice and try to, do what I could, the best way that I knew how to do it. And it was all resented, and it was all taken out of context, and it was all, it didn't resonate. So, do what you're happy doing. Just don't bring it to me, because I really don't care. I'm just trying to live a peaceful life. But when you see people dying every day, I was watching TV the other day, and a man was riding with his kids and his family, and he just had a massive heart attack driving his car. And the only thing that saved his life was the police who circled around the street, around the block, and saw a man sitting in a car. And he was looking like he was, a lady saw him first. And the lady saw that his face was kind of red, and he wasn't doing anything. And she happened to be a nurse. And then 2 seconds later, a cop came. They said this man had died. They were able to get a pulse back. Imagine if you didn't have tomorrow. Are you going to be worried about what people think of you? Are you going to care what people think? Are you going to continue to get worried about how people view you and all this other stuff? No. It's a blessing to have people who's like-minded, and you get along with, and you click and all this kind of stuff, and have a great social life and all this kind of stuff. That would be wonderful. That would be great. That would help you more than hinder you. But if you don't have any of those things, then you stay in tune with yourself. And that's just the way it is. So that's the way I look at life. So this isn't nothing negative. It's just saying that basically, what if you didn't have tomorrow? Live your life the best you can today. Even if you give people the truth and tell people exactly what's on your mind, exactly the way you think about a certain situation, about a certain situation or certain situations, they're still going to find something wrong with it or take it a different way. People tend to be around people who like to be yes men and say what makes them, listen to them and say what makes them feel good. I'm just not into listening to stupid stuff. I guess that's just what it is. I'm just not interested at all in listening to stupid stuff. Okay? I'm not a bad person. I just don't have time. Right? I've wasted too much time. I probably could have been along further than where I am right now if I had not, wasted so much time. And it's all good. I don't say that to be, against anyone else or, I don't have, basically, my thoughts are I just go through things when I post things about just certain things in my life and certain time stamps in my life, and try to help people get through those situations if you're going through the same thing. And that's basically it, because there's millions and millions and millions of people out in the world. And don't sit there and think, that the people around you in your circle, that they're always going to resonate and want to hear what you have to say or even be interested. Because sometimes those are the people who laid you down anyway. You know what I mean? Those are some of the people who left you for dead. Those are some of the people who didn't believe you were going to make it this far anyway. They might check in every now and then just to be nosy, look at the stuff you post, blah, 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 and then they check out, whatever. You know what I mean? But trust me, if me and you never had a problem, you checking in, you give me a like and all that stuff, I appreciate that. And it's all good and that's cool. You know what I mean? You know who you are. You know who you are. I don't really need social media to vent. And a lot of times, another thing, people keep coming up with these memes and all this stuff about different stuff. Those people looking at the memes that you putting out, they could care less. Matter of fact, they're happy that they got you trapped like that. They're renting a space inside your head. They're happy you're posting that stuff. What I post is for me. It's for like when you write when you keep a journal. It's more for the writer than the reader. You know, I really don't care what you think. You know, I'm just putting it out there. You know, and if you like it, or you can, there's something that applies to you, then listen to it. You know, I'm for the person who just, they're not the cool kid at school. They're not the person everyone, clicks with. You know, before I tried to do good in life and do really good, I had all the friends you can imagine. I had people around me all the time. You know, I had, the women. I had the, I had the friends. I had everything. But when you're around and everybody's doing the same thing, or even when you're paying people and you got your own little business and you're paying people and they taking that money from you and all this stuff, you're doing a job, you kick them a little bit of money. Oh man, you're great. As soon as your last job comes in that you can give to them, they don't even call you no more. When you're out smoking weed every day and hanging out, and you got friends, you got some weed, and you're just getting behind in life. You know what I mean? You're not getting ahead, you're getting behind in life. Because you could be doing other things besides, getting high. You could be doing some other stuff more productive. You could be saving your money. You could be, doing other stuff. You could be going to school. You could be doing whatever. When you're hanging out with those people, you are the company you keep. So really, you're just getting behind. But you still got friends. They don't bother you. They don't bother you. Matter of fact, they're not even thinking what they're doing. If you really look, there's things that they could be doing that they're missing out on because they're out there getting high and they're hanging out with you and they're smoking weed and they're drinking and they're partying and they're going out every night. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, their license suspended and they owe $10,000 in fines, but they can go out here and get some weed and they can smoke it. You know what I mean? And all that, but everybody's grinning and everybody's happy. You know what I mean? They're getting further and further in debt. They're getting so wrapped up. They're digging their own grave, and it's gonna take them years to get out of it. You know what I mean? But they're friends though, and they're cool, and they're supportive of you. Supportive of what? Supportive of just getting you further and further in the hole. Whatever you have thought of, I've lived through it. So most stuff I've lived through it. Anything that's common sense. And anything that's, stuff that, as far as dealing with people, I know people very well, and I sit back and I analyze the situation. I know who's for me and I know who's not for me. I know everybody who's rolling ain't with you, and that's just the way it is. And some people change up on you, some people switch on you, some people this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Tough love. Tough love is what I came up on. You know what I mean? And trying to have a little bit of integrity and trying to speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? But some people can't handle the truth. Some people want to live in all smoke and mirrors and stuff, be fake. You know what I mean? And I can't be fake. I can't be around fake. I got to be around real. You know what I mean? I just got to be around real. Real doesn't mean you go out and shoot nobody and all this stuff and you just, real don't mean you're a killer and real don't mean any of that stuff. It just say you say what you mean and mean what you say. That's really all it is. You say what you mean and mean what you say. I can't go through life trying to scope people and, nobody 10 years from now, 15 years from now, the direction that I go in and the things that I try to do, 10 or 15 years from now, look back on those situations, they might be some things that they could have changed. But it's too late. They're not going to tell you that, hey, maybe they should have listened to what you said, or maybe they should have, done it this way, or maybe they should have done it that way. They're not going to do that. One thing I learned is people are very prideful, and they never admit that they're wrongs at all. Don't be one of those people. You got to get it now. That's all I got for today. It's Grind Time Media. I want everyone to stay blessed and stay positive and stay focused.